Timeless and elegant, the LBD is a modern-day expression of chic, but the history of black dresses is far more complicated.
We span 150 years via 37 garments. We were sort of joking that it's from morning to night, like M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G, because really up until Coco Chanel, the people that wore black were people in mourning, people who were in servitude, women who were no longer virtuous.
Little Black Dress, A Fashion Evolution is a comparative exhibit of both style and women's ever-changing roles in society.
In the 1860s, society was telling women what their place was, and in 2010, women are telling society what their place is.
Sizing also changed dramatically. The museum had to use children's mannequins for some of the 19th century displays.
We had to get that child's form because of the size of the waist of these dresses. It's because they were cinched in and cinched up and contained in ways by artificial means like corsets and other undergarments.
Visitors can feel some of the history too by trying on accessories, touching a dozen different fabrics, or putting on weighted aprons to experience what it was like to wear a 25-pound dress in the 1880s.
It's so heavy. It's like carrying like a person at your knees.
A reminder of where we've been and where we're going through the lens of LBDs.
It was a really interesting thing to explore.